Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dilmer again and welcome back to my channel. So I'm pretty excited today because I really want to talk about how to actually control your workflow as a game developer. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because you probably know that I release a lot of games on my own. I actually done the whole thing from, the ideation all the way to actually releasing a game. So I've been working with a new person that is, he's going to be helping me in my team, and he's been doing great things. He's actually helping me with the procedural level generation, and I'm actually working on a different part of the game, which is actually producing the game and actually coding the mechanics of the game. And he can basically focus on the procedural level generation while I do that. And the thing that I'm finding that has been helpful, and is the reason why I want to talk about this, is that I really like to know everything that is happening in the game. So even though he's helping me out and he has control of the, procedural algorithm, I want to understand that and make sure that I know exactly what he's doing. I don't want you to think that I'm a control freak, or I want you to be a control freak in your own game, but you want to make sure you understand what the person is doing, what your team is doing. And the reason to do why I do that is because the worst thing that can happen is you have somebody helping you in your game, and for whatever reason you don't have that person. I'm not saying that I might not have them, but you want to make sure that you can contribute to that code as well. So if, let's say that he's gonna be or she's gonna be on vacation for a while, and I need to keep moving with my game, I want to make sure that I can keep adding and contributing. And the main reason why you want to be as aware as you can about what's happening behind the scenes is because you want to make sure that your game gets done. Try not to get to a point where you're just relying on way too many people, and all of a sudden you lose some of those people, and then you can't really finish your game because the person that you were relying for the game is actually not there anymore, and then you don't have the skills to to do that. And I know that it's not the same for every project. I know I'm not a musician, so if I have a musician and that musician leaves, in that case, I don't think I'm capable of actually composing music and actually making music for the game. But you want to always make sure that you have a plan B. So in my case, I'm a developer, I'm a programmer. I basically found another programmer to help me out. So I want to make sure that I know as much as I can about what that person is doing, so that I can actually, keep basically polishing what he's doing, or I can maintain what he's doing if something doesn't go well, or I need to add some new features to the code that person is checking in. So make sure that you do that. Don't try to rely too much on other people. At the same time, if you as a plan B, let's say that you have one music guy one day and then something doesn't work out, you might need to find another guy. Always make sure that you have a plan B. Even when I was trying to work on my previous game, I didn't really have the budget to to basically hire the person that I wanted to hire for the music. So I got a quote for the music, and the quote was way too high. So my plan B was to actually find music that I could actually buy that was licensed. It was already produced by a company. So I did that, and that was actually cheaper. So I think that applies to anything that you do. If in my case, I'm an engineer, I'm a developer, and I also like the art. One of the main reasons why I've been learning 3D is because I actually want to control the pipeline. I think as indie game developers, we want to do everything. We want to always go big, and I try to always advise people to cut down in some of the things that they want to do. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do a large game or a game that you dream of, but what I'm saying is try to keep the scope manageable to the point where you can actually release your game. The way that it works, and the way that has actually worked for me, is I get a game out. It might be a very small game. I get some features, I get some experience with what I'm building, and then the next game, I now know, I have more exposure in some of the things that I'm doing. So I might say, okay, let's actually increment the difficulty of the game. So I might add a level designer. I'm adding procedural levels in this game. I didn't want to do it on the previous games because I didn't really have experience, but now I'm getting more experience with what I'm building. So that basically applies to everything that you do. Just make sure that you start small and you start growing with time, and gather experience. Try to connect with people. Try to do new technologies, try new things. I've been experimenting with facial detection and facial recognition. It might not apply directly to what you're doing, but you'll be surprised of what things you're learning right now that might apply to the future. So just make sure that you do that. Make sure that you're learning as much as you can about your project and other things that might come up, in the pipeline, because that's really what's going to help you finish games in the future. I tell people that I'm a web developer and I'm a full stack developer, and then when they ask me what about the games, I think I consider myself what I call a full stack game developer, and I think an indie game developer is basically a full stack developer that you have to be able to do so many things. And I'm not saying that you have to do 100% of everything, but try to learn as much as you can about the whole game development pipeline, because if somebody's not there for you that you might need, you want to be able to jump in and actually be able to do what that person is doing, or be able to make a right decision to make sure that your project gets done. So that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today, guys. If you guys have any questions about anything that I mentioned, let me know through the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Thank you, guys.